Hello and welcome to my stinky garden. Today I am running a Death Guard list out of the 9th edition codex, which is very strong, very fluffy, loving everything about it. We have a battalion of Mortarion's Anvil and the named man himself in an inexorable plague company, which we'll get to the reasons for in a moment. Now, heading up the battalion, we've got a Demon Prince. He is running the Hellforged sword, the Suppurating plate, and the Rotten Constitution Warlord trait, which we've paid an extra CP to have. What this adds up to is an absolute beat stick. So this guy can take around 215 shots. He's ignoring AP 1 and 6. Those shots coming from anything from a bolter to a heavy phosphor blaster to lightning claws. He's just going to eat them all up. Delicious. Very hard to shift. We have a Malignant Plaguecaster who's going to add to the durability of our sort of sticky bomb right in the middle. He's going to be throwing out Putrescent Vitality, +1 strength and toughness. It's going to make quite a big difference once we're on the mid-board, as well as Gift of Contagion, just to reduce the strength of our opponent. Hopefully, we'll also be able to reduce their attacks, which will make a real huge difference. Speaking of that sticky, stinky bomb, we have 3 units of 7 Plague Marines. For 7 is Nurgle's blessed number. He loves it. Anything else is wrong. One of those units we've got running with a flail and a Plaguebringer to replace the champion's Daemonic plague sword. What that adds up to is about 9 attacks that are running 2 damage. Pretty good. Now you combine that with the Haze of Corruption stratagem, and that 2 damage is going to carry on through any wound 1 troops, which is a real problem when that's dropped into someone's deployment zone, chucked in one of these rhinos with one of our elites, which we'll get to in a moment. It's real messy for your opponent. Delicious. The other unit's got a blight launcher in it. You can replace that with a flail if you're a bit more melee minded, but I'm running that because we're getting a little bit extra value out of our talisman. Again, we'll get to in a moment. Last squad of Plague Marines, straight bolters, nothing wrong with them. They're a great fix. 3 squads of 10 Poxwalkers. Great value for 5 points a model. Chuck 1 in reserves to make your opponent on the back foot. They're having to be a bit more reactionary in their play, which is nice for you. Puts the ball in your court. Another unit of 10 you can chuck inside one of these rhinos. Should it tickle your fancy, runs a great screen for your Demon Prince. Now, coming to those elites that we touched upon earlier, first off, we've got the Talisman. He's got the Toll Keeper, which is giving you those exploded 6s on ranged attacks, so things like your blight launchers, bolters, you may be getting extra hits on them, which is real tasty. Also, we're a little low on CP, because we've spent a lot elsewhere, don't tell anyone. He'll give you about 5 a game should Nurgle's blessed number keep coming up, which hopefully you've done everything you need to, so it will do, and he'll look after you. So he's going to get you another 5 CP to throw around, which you will need. We've also got a Foul Blightspawn, who has had a few points chucked into him. We've got the Stench Vats relic, which is going to put out a bubble of don't count as charging. That's a huge boon in this edition. There is a lot of abilities that count that caveat of having charged to get some extra tasty bonuses, which he will turn off and really up your durability. He's also going to make it so that 1 unit you get charged by fights last, which can make all the difference in that mid-board, which everyone's going to be scrapping over. He also, just a little rotten cherry on top of the cake, he's got the Gloaming Bloat from our Mortarion's Anvil Warlord trait. That's going to mean that no rerolls, none of that, no rerolling hits, no wounds. Stop it right now, you're not allowed, he says so, and you have to obey him. And that's going to really up your durability midfield, which is always a good thing. We've also got a Plague Surgeon giving a 6-up Feel No Pain, again to those Plague Marines, just to add that little bit of durability. It's always going to help. It's only in a 3-inch bubble, but mind, that's enough. That's enough to stick him in a unit, keep him out of range of the worst that can come at him, and he'll do some work for you. Now, we spoke earlier about some melee marines in a tank. With them, we chuck a Biologist Putrefier. He's great at the spike damage. If you chuck the Blightning strat on them when they get tar pitted, because it's going to happen, frankly, if your opponent's going for them, they're going to get stuck. This will make sure that they can do their best to struggle out of that, hopefully free them up, get them a nice charge somewhere, and just make a nice sticky puddle of whatever your opponent has thrown at you. Following that, we've got some Chaos Spawn. Point for point, they are, in my opinion, one of the best damage dealers we have. They're incredibly fast, so they tie up with the Rhino and the Demon Prince very well. They're cheap. For 1 CP, you can increase their toughness and give them Disgusting Resilient on a 4 wound model. It's amazing, and I feel like I haven't seen it very often in a competitive list, so I don't think they will get as much attention and hassle as one would expect. Now, following all of this up, the man, the myth, the legend, we have Mortarion. Now, he does not have a relic. He didn't need it. He put it back in the reliquary. He let someone else take it. They can look after themselves. He's got his own business to attend to. He's got Miasma of Pestilence on himself, which is a -1 to hit, as we all know, I'm sure, which is going to up his durability a big old chunk. We've got Curse of the Leper as well, so if we need a nice mortal wound bomb, nice and reliable, he'll be able to take care of that for us. And Gift of Plagues, just to chuck out those auras at an even bigger distance. He's going to be running at 12-inch contagion range, from 9-inch, sorry, I lied to you, from the get-go. And that Gift of Plagues is really going to help boost that, and he can chuck that on some of the midfield things should he need to, because he's nice and mobile. Now, he's in the inexorable Plague Company, which means that if someone tries to charge him with something horrible, like 20 Necron warriors, and tar him up for the rest of the game, you can say, no, -2 to your charges, and then we'll see how they feel about that. If the worst comes to the worst, we have a bloat drone here. He has the Heroic Intervention strat within 6 inches. So if something does get too close and you're a bit worried about it, you send this fella in and he can tank the worst of it for Morty, should he be having a bad day. So he's just there to run interception. So the idea of the list really is you break it down into 3 wings. It's incredibly mobile for a Death Guard. So 1 wing, you've got Morty with his sticky little friend here, who are going to run off on their own, cause some havoc in your opponent's deployment zone. We've got hopefully a Rhino filled with melee Plague Marines, who are again going to get into that deployment zone, maybe onto another objective, cause some real damage. They're kind of the tip of the spear for you. They're the real damage dealers in the list. Another Rhino, it's up to you. You can pop some Poxwalkers in there to run that screen for the Demon Prince, should you wish, or if you want something a little more reliable, you can chuck one of those squads of Plague Marines in there. I would, however, bear in mind, you've got the Tallyman. You don't want him in a Rhino because he can't give you those CP back. So maybe stick him with the Blind Launchers, keep them on the field from the get-go to get that extra bit of value. So that's pretty much it. You've got a nice mobile force, really durable. You've got so much obsec that if someone like Dark Angels or Necrons start trying to cancel your obsec, you can get rid of that nonsense and just have so much on the board that they can't really do much about it. So that's it really. I hope you've enjoyed the list. I hope you have fun with it, and good luck in all your actions and endeavours. Thank you.